Let's starts now. The Black Hive. The Jeju Massacre begins. Scene 1. The Gathering of Gods. The Incheon International Airport has been cleared of civilians. In their place stands a fleet of black helicopters, tanks, and the world's most powerful hunters. The sun is setting, casting long, bloody shadows across the tarmac. Sung Jinwoo stands apart from the crowd, leaning against a concrete pillar. He is watching the Japanese SRANK team disembark from their private jet. At their head is Goto Ryuji, the strongest hunter in Japan. Goto doesn't walk, he glides, his eyes scanning the Korean SRANKs with a look of pure, unadulterated contempt. They look like soldiers, Jinwoo thinks, his perception tracing the mana veins of the Japanese hunters. But they're shadows. Their shadows are shivering. They aren't here to fight ants. They are here to watch a slaughter. Beside him, Hae-In is tightening the straps on her armor. She looks at Jinwoo. "You're really not coming with us on the first drop? I have a bad feeling about the coordination," Jinwoo says, his voice low. "If I go now, I'll be tied to a plan I don't trust. Go. Stay near Baek. If things get dark, look for the shadows." Hae-In nods, her eyes lingering on him for a second too long before she boards the transport. Scene 2. The Strategy of Betrayal. Inside the command center, Chairman Go Gun-hee and the Japanese officials are finalizing the joint operation. The plan is simple. The Japanese SRANKs will draw the main swarm away from the Queen's Nest, while the Korean SRANKs dive into the heart of the hive to kill the Queen. But in a private corner of the room, Goto Ryuji is whispering to his teammates. Once the Koreans enter the nest, Goto says in Japanese, his voice cold, "We withdraw. We let the Queen exhaust them. When they are all dead or broken, we step in, kill the Queen, and claim the island as Japanese territory. The world will see Korea as weak and Japan as the savior of Asia." The Japanese hunters smirk. They think they are the masters of this game. They don't realize that a different kind of monster is already waiting for them on the island. Scene 3. The Drop into Hell. The transport planes reach the airspace of Jeju Island. From above, the island looks like a festering wound on the ocean. Thousands of black dots, ants the size of cars, are crawling over the ruins of once beautiful resorts. "Go! Go! Go!" the commander screams. The Korean SRANKs leap from the planes. They don't use parachutes. Baek transforms in midair, his white fur exploding from his skin as he slams into a group of flying ants, tearing them apart with his teeth. Choi Jong-in hovers in the air, his hands glowing with a supernova of fire magic. "Inferno Palace!" Choi shouts. A pillar of fire, 100 feet wide, erupts from the ground, incinerating 1,000 ants in a single heartbeat. The raid has begun. Scene 4. The Silence of the Hive. While the battle rages on the surface, the Korean strike team, Cha, Hae-In, Dong-Wook, and Lim Tae-gyu, slips into the main tunnel leading to the Queen's chamber. The interior of the hive is a nightmare of organic architecture. The walls are made of hardened saliva and bone. The air is thick with the smell of rotting meat and pheromones. "It's too quiet," Hae-In whispers, her rapier drawn. "The guards, they aren't attacking us, they're retreating. Maybe they're scared of us?" Lim Tae-gyu scoffs, though his hand is shaking as he notches an arrow. "No," a voice echoes from the darkness. "They aren't scared. They're being summoned." Suddenly, the ground vibrates. From the depths of the tunnel, a psychic scream echoes through their minds. It's not a sound, it's a command. "Protect the Queen." Scene 5. The Birth of Beru. In the deepest chamber of the hive, the Ant Queen is convulsing. She is a massive, bloated creature, her abdomen pulsing with a sickly green light. Beside her, the obsidian egg we saw in the last episode has completely shattered. Standing over the wreckage is Beru. He is smaller than the other ants, more humanoid, and covered in armor that looks like polished jet. He has no eyes, only 2 glowing purple slits on his face. He looks at his mother, the Queen. He feels her pain. He feels the intruders coming closer. Beru opens his mouth. A sound comes out. Not a chirp, but a distorted, multi-tonal human scream. He has already consumed the brains of the Japanese scouts, and their memories, their language, and their skills are now his. "I will eat the kings," Beru whispers. He vanishes. He doesn't run. He moves so fast that he teleports through the tunnels, leaving a trail of shattered stone in his wake. Scene 6. The first victim. The Japanese rank team is drawing away the swarm on the northern beach. They are laughing, playing with the lower rank ants like they are toys. This is boring. One Japanese hunter, Kenzo, says, "When do we get to leave the Koreans to die?" Suddenly, Kenzo stops talking. His teammates look at him. Kenzo is staring at his own chest. A black, clawed hand has erupted through his sternum, holding his still-beating heart. Before anyone can scream, Beru appears. He tears Kenzo in half as if he were made of paper. "One," Beru says. The Japanese hunters, the elite of Asia, freeze in terror. Goto Ryuji draws his sword, his face pale. "What is that thing? It has no mana signature. I can't sense it." Beru tilts his head. In a flash, he is in front of the next hunter. He bites the hunter's head off in one clean snap. 2. The slaughter begins. The hunters who came to betray their allies are now the prey of a monster they cannot even see. Scene 7. The Korean teams struggle. Deep in the nest, the Korean team has finally reached the queen. "Now!" Dong-Wook shouts, pinning the queen's massive legs with his heavy shield. Hae-In lunges, her sword glowing with white mana. She pierces the queen's heart. The queen lets out a final, world-shaking shriek and collapses. "We did it!" Lim Tae-gyu cheers. "The raid is over! We won!" But Hae-In doesn't cheer. She is looking at the tunnel entrance. She can feel something coming, something that makes her soul want to crawl out of her body. "Run," she says, her voice a whisper. "Everyone, get out of here now!" The tunnel explodes. Beru walks through the dust. He is covered in the blood of the Japanese ranks. He is holding Goto Ryuji's broken sword in his hand. "The queen is dead," Beru asks, looking at his mother's carcass. The air in the room drops to absolute zero. Beru's aura expands, filling the chamber with a black, suffocating pressure. "You killed Mother." Scene 8. The despair of the Sranks. Dong-Wook, the strongest tank in Korea, charges Beru. "Get back, you monster!" Beru doesn't even use a weapon. He simply slaps the shield. The Rank's shield shatters into 1,000 pieces, and Dong-Wook is sent flying into a wall, every bone in his body breaking instantly. Lim Tae-gyu fires a barrage of mana arrows. Beru catches them in midair and eats them. Hae-In is the only one left standing. She uses her ultimate skill. She moves at the speed of sound, her blade aiming for Beru's neck. Beru catches the blade between 2 fingers. "Fast for a human," Beru says. He kicks her in the stomach, sending her skidding across the floor. She coughs up blood, her vision blurring. As Beru walks toward her to finish the job, the cameras on the hunters' helmets, which are broadcasting live to the world, capture his face. Millions of people watching the live stream scream in horror. The gods of Korea are being hunted like insects. Scene 9, The Shadow's Eye. Back in Seoul, Jin-woo is watching the live stream on his phone. He sees Hae-In fall. He sees the monster, Beru, preparing to execute her. His eyes turn into voids of purple flame. The shadows in his room begin to boil. "I told her to look for the shadows," Jin-woo whispers. He stands up. The air around him shatters. He doesn't call a taxi. He doesn't go to the airport. Shadow exchange. In the Jeju Island hive, a single shadow under Chae-In's broken body begins to grow. It stretches out, turning the white stone floor into a sea of ink. Scene 10, The Arrival. Beru raises his claw to take Chae-In's head. Suddenly, a hand reaches out of the shadow and grabs Beru's wrist. Beru stops. He looks down. A man is slowly emerging from the floor, his eyes glowing with a light that is even darker than the hive. Jin-woo steps out of the shadow. He is still wearing his casual hoodie, but the pressure he is radiating is so massive that the remaining ants in the room instantly explode from the sheer weight of his mana. He looks at Beru. Then he looks at the dying Hae-In. "You've had your fun," Jin-woo says, his voice vibrating like thunder. "Now it's my turn." Jin-woo standing between the Ant King and the fallen hunters. Behind him, the silhouettes of a Grizz, Iron, and Tusk emerge from the ground, their weapons drawn. The screen cuts to black as a system notification appears. Urgent quest. Protect the allies. Target the Ant King. End of Episode 3.